Okay, part 10. This is the last part of engineering economy review course. So we will talk about break-even analysis, rate of returns of investment, and other miscellaneous problems related in engineering economy, board exam context. Okay, so simulan natin sa break-even analysis. So what is break-even? Break-even analysis is a method of determining when costs exactly equal to revenue. So that means yung gastos natin sa isang material or isang project or isang machine or any properties dapat equal siya sa revenue. Okay? Kung i-plot natin yan, cost versus the quantity. Let's say ito yung ating graph of the cost. Cost versus quantity. Then ito naman yung graph natin sa revenue. Okay? So, ito yung point na tinatawag nating break-even point. That is where the cost equal to the revenue. So, kung quantity itong ating abscessa, then ito yung break-even quantity. Ito yung kailangan natin na quantity para mabawi natin yung cost natin. Ganun lang kasimple. Kailangan umabot yung number of items na ma-produce natin up to that point or mabenta natin para matabla or mabawi natin yung ginastos natin, buong gastos natin sa pag-produce ng isang item. So, if the revenue, if the graph is below the cost, tong part na yan yung loss. Meron tayong loss. Hindi pa tayo pumita. Okay. After this quantity here, the break-even quantity, then mas mataas na yung revenue natin kaysa cost. So, profit na yung tawag dito this time. Meron ka ng kita. Okay? So, madaling-madali lang to, no? Yung mga sa problems dito hinahanap is what is the break-even quantity, kadalasan. So, we have at least two examples here. Halimbawa, the cost of producing a computer diskette is as follows. Material cost is 7 pesos each. So, each of the computer diskette, kailangan natin ng 7 pesos sa materials. Labor cost, kailangan din natin 2 pesos each. Then, other expenses is 1.5 pesos each. That means, yung cost sa pag-produce ng computer diskette is 7 plus 2 plus 1.5. That is per diskette. Each of the diskette. Another cost here, by the way, tinatawag natin yung variable cost. Okay? Per variable. Per 1 unit of item. Now, meron tayong tinatawag na fixed cost. So, if the fixed expenses is 69,000 per month, so it is not variable or it is not a function of the number of items or the number of diskette. Fixed cost siya from the word fixed expenses. So, how many diskettes must be produced each month for break-even? Kailangan matabla. If each diskette is worth 45 pesos. So, again, yung tatandaan lang natin, for break-even quantity, the cost must be equal to the revenue. So, define the cost. Yung cost sa paggawa ng item. So, you have 7 pesos each. Alright? You have here 7 pesos each. Meron kang 2 pesos each plus 2. Then we have 1.5 pesos each. Let's say the number of items or the number of diskette is D. So ito yung cost natin sa paggawa ng number of items D. Another cost is fixed. So that is 69,000 per month. Alright, so ito yung kabuuang cost natin per month. Hindi tayo mag-multiply ng D dito kasi fixed cost yan. It is not a variable cost. Then, what is our revenue? Yung revenue natin is the sales. And yung sales natin is a function of number of items. And that is 45 pesos each of the diskettes, times the number of item or the number of diskettes needed to be break-even. Alright, so yung makukuha natin is yung number of diskettes. So, how many diskettes must be produced? So, ito yung kailangan ma-produce or ma-sell para mag-break even ka sa gastos mo. Of course, mas marami dito, mas marami sa D, greater than 2,000, then that will be our profit. Okay? Next problem. A company that manufactures electric motors has a production capacity of 200 motors a month. Production capacity. Capacity ng ating manufacturer. The variable costs are 150 pesos per motor. So this cost here is per motor. The average selling price of the motor is 275 pesos. Take note, selling price yan. Okay? Selling price, that will give us our revenue. Ibebenta natin. Ito naman is the cost to produce the motors. Fixed cost of the company amount 20,000 per month, which excludes taxes. 20,000 pesos per month. That is our fixed cost. The number of motors that must be sold each month to break even is closest to. Okay, yung hinahanap is the number of motors or the number of items must be sold para mag-break even tayo. The same pa rin, cost is equal to revenue. What is the cost to produce per month? So you have here the variable cost, 150 pesos per motor. So 150, let's say yung number of motors is M. So multiplied by the number of motors. Again, this one is per motor. Another cost here is the fixed cost to produce the items. So fixed siya, that's not a variable cost. That's not a function of M. So i-plus lang natin siya dito. This gives us the total cost to produce each month. Then yung revenue natin is 275, the selling price, times M. The number of items, of course, to be sold. So kuha natin 160 units. Okay? So ganun lang yung ating break-even quantity. Intindihin nyo lang talaga. Meron mga problems dito na somewhat get twist para lang medyo maging challenging siya, pero yung thought dito, kailangan maging equal yung gastos sa revenue natin. Okay, now let's have rate of returns of investment. So, masasabi kong miscellaneous part ito sa engineering economy. Okay? Now, sa topic na ito, ang raming mga, kung makikita natin sa mga reviewers, maraming mga inconsistent sa formulas. Inconsistencies, no? Sa ating mga solutions and formulas. So, yung rate of return of investment is just equal to annual profit divided by the total capital. You may memorize this one. Okay? Gineglect dito yung time as the money, the time passed by, gineglect dito sa mga problems na ito. Lumalabas din siya sa board exam. No? Basta maraming inconsistency sa solutions dito. Okay, ito yung isang parameter na sinusolve natin sa rate of returns of investment. Annual profit divided by the total capital. Now, meron tayong tinatawag na recovery period. Halimbawa, gumastos tayo. Ano yung recovery period? So, makukuha natin yung recovery period, that is by multiplying the annual profit by the number of years or the number of times or number of period. Annual profit times the recovery period, that is equal to the capital. Parang break-even din siya. Pero this time, yung hinahanap natin is kailan natin mababawi yung capital. Okay? That is what it meant. Kailan mababawi yung capital. Annual profit times recovery period. Again, we are neglecting here. We are neglecting the time of travel. Diba? Kung merong time, then dapat involve dito yung interest. Okay? So you can sense the problem. Halimbawa, ito yung mga tanong niya, recovery period. You may calculate the recovery period by using this formula. That is capital, total capital divided by annual profit. Madali lang siya. Okay? Now, as you can see here, this part is the reciprocal of the rate of return. Pwede natin siyang kuhanin as 1 over rate of return. So, related yung recovery period and the rate of return. Okay? Now, another element here, basta mga investment, is the payout period. Ito medyo inconsistent talaga ito eh. Pero lumalabas din siya sa board exam, no? So, yung pag sinabing recovery period, that is different payout period, that is different with the recovery period. So, this time, yung thought dito is, kailan natin mababawi or kailan natin mababawi yung ating fixed capital. Dito, total capital yung gagamitin natin. This time is fixed capital. So, you have annual profit multiplied by the payout period. That would be different. Then, i-equate natin yan sa book value of our capital. Pag sinabi nating book value from the previous discussion is that is based on the depreciation. Merong depreciation yung ating material, no? Or machine, or again, any other properties. So, yung book value natin, that is fixed capital, yung gagamitin natin is the fixed capital. Minus the payout period, the number of years, bali yung tatanggalin natin dito is the total depreciation. So, assuming the depreciation is constant, meron kang annual depreciation. So, the total depreciation is payout period, number of years, times the annual depreciation. Again, masyadong inconsistent dito, yung mga problems dito, no? So, you may try to, for me, in my opinion, you may try to, rumble the formulas, no? Pero so far, ito yung nakikita ko sa mga reviewers natin. That is the fixed capital divided by annual profit plus annual depreciation. So, yung formula niyan, galing siya dito. I just rearrange. Okay? You may use this one. Ito lang yung gamitin mo. Then, shift solve. Pero, for me, mas maganda i-memorize lang ito for board exam purposes. Then, know the difference between the two. Dito, total capital. Dito, fixed capital. Dito, annual profit lang. Dito, annual profit and annual depreciation. Know the difference, no? Kasi lumalabas talaga siya sa board exam. Okay? So, example tayo. Alright. First example. Okay. A businessman wants to earn 7% on his capital. On his capital after payment of taxes. If the income from an available investment will be taxed at an average rate of 42%, what minimum rate of return before payment of the taxes must be invested? Of the taxes must the investment offer to be justified? Medyo nagkakalito yung problem, no? A businessman wants to earn 7%. So, yung 7% na yan, that is the rate of return. No? Wants to earn the 7% of his capital after payment of taxes. So, this rate of return after payment of taxes, that is net rate of return. Okay? Ano ba yung tinatanong? If the income from an available investment will be taxed at an average rate of 42%. Bali, itong 7% is tax na yan by 42%. What is the minimum rate of return before payment of taxes? Tawagin natin siyang rate of return, gross rate of return. Okay? To be justified. Yan yung tinatanong niya dito. Alright, so kung tatandaan natin, pinakita ko kanina ng mga formula. The rate of return is equal to annual profit divided by the total capital. Okay, I can assume capital para lang hindi tayo malito sa variable. Okay? Pwede akong mag-assume ng capital. Let's say it's capital here is, tawag ko na lang si 100. Any value will do. Alright. So, yung rate of return na yung 7%, ROR or rate of return that is net. No? 7% yung kanyang binigay or 0.07 7%. That is the net rate of return. Ito siya, tinanggalan na yan ng tax. Okay? So, ano ba yung rate of return? Di ba, yung rate of return yan, we know that ROR net is equal to the annual income. Kung net yan, then net annual income ito divided by the capital. No? Makukuha natin yung net annual income. By the way, yung gusto natin makuha dito, yung final answer must be minimum rate of return before payment. So that must be the gross rate of return. So kunin muna natin yung net annual income is. Meron tayong ROR net which is 0.07, then assume tayo ng capital. Again, any capital will do kasi magka-cancel lang yan later on. So in that case, I can have the annual net capital that is C times ROR net or 0.07, that is the net rate of return, times the capital 100. Again, I'm assuming the capital. Any value will do. So ito yung net annual income natin. Okay, ano ba yung net annual income? Kung yung 7%, alright, if that 7% is already subtracted by the tax, that means yung net, the value of annual net income is equal to the gross income, tawag mo siyang A sub G, minus 42% yung tax, 0.42 of the gross income. So ito yung ibig sabihin dito. Makukuha natin yung gross income. So with this known, which is 7, if that is equal to 7, then we can solve for the gross income. No? Anong makukuha natin? Ano yung gross income? AG is equal, simplify ko lang that is 7 divided by 1 minus 0.42. So this is our gross income, 12.069. That means kung meron tayong gross income, then yung makukuha natin yung ating rate of return gross. It is the gross income, annual gross income, divided by the capital C. Okay, ito yung hinahanap natin. Before taxes, kaya gross pa siya. So you have 12.069. Alright, divided by C na 100. Okay, gusto natin itong gawing in percent. Multiply lang natin ng 100, kaya the answer is 12.069. Or you have 12.07. Okay? Sige. Next. Let's have number 2. Ito. Nilagay ko na lang sila sa isang slide, no? Para diretso tayo. So, same problem to lahat. Yung questions lang dito, the first question is rate of return. Second is recovery period. The third is payout period. Okay. So, first one, number 2. Alright. Fixed capital of investment is 10 million. Is required to propose a manufacturing plant an estimated working capital. Okay? Meron kang estimated working capital. Annual depreciation is 10%. Okay? 10% of the fixed capital investment. If the annual profit is 2.5 million, what is the rate of return? So, pag ganito yung structure ng problem, automatic yung gagamitin natin is just yung simple formulas. It is neglected na yung, again, neglected dito yung time of travel. Ito yung assumption. Okay? So, yung hinahanap is rate of return. So, rate of return, again, it is the annual profit. Tawagin ko na lang A, wala namang tax na binanggit dito, divided by the total capital. Basta rate of return, total capital tayo. So, rate of return, it is equal to annual profit, which is given here, 2.5 million. 2.5 million the total capital is fixed plus working capital. So you have here 10 million plus 2 million. So in percent, it is 20.833. Okay, letter C. Okay, problem 3, the same givens. Yung tanong lang dito is recovery period naman. Okay? So, yung pinakita kong formula kanina, recovery period. Tawag ko na siyang N recovery. Yung isa kasi is payout period, no? So, N recovery is equal to the reciprocal of this, that is total cost or total capital divided by A, or that is simply 1 over rate of return. So, ito lang yung pagkuha natin sa recovery period. Means, yung recovery period natin is equal. Okay, so total capital, baliktarin ko lang yan. You have here 10 million plus 2 million divided by 2.5 million, or simply reciprocal of that one. Alright, so the answer here is 4.8 years. That one is a number of years. Next, payout period naman sa number 4. Payout period. So, basta payout period, remember the formula I presented. Tawag mo siyang NPay. That is equal. At this time, fixed capital lang yung gagamitin natin dito. Okay? Basta term is payout period. Divided by annual profit plus annual depreciation. Annual profit plus annual depreciation. Ito yung kaibahan niya. Meron siyang annual depreciation dito sa baba. So, the payout period is equal. The fixed capital is only 10 million. Annual profit natin is 2.5 million. And the annual depreciation, based on the problem, it is 10% of the fixed capital investment. So, 10% is 0.1. Fixed capital investment is 10 million. So, you will have here, okay, 2.857 years. This is in number of years. So, the answer is 2.86. Alright, so that will end up our review course in engineering mechanics.